This is a demo of the data management cockpit for HR. When we have HR data, like in transaction PA20, it is often the case that these information are very sensitive. So there are certain laws, privacy laws, which mandate that these information should be protected appropriately. And if you go in the transaction PA20, it's not a problem to protect the transaction via the authorization concept. But if you bring up a low-level transaction like a table transaction, table viewer like SE16, and if you actually look at the HR master data records table as one example, PA0002 table, and if we actually now check for this one person, Michael Burton, if we actually put in the data here for Michael Burton, these information are essentially open in the database. So anybody who has access to the database, like developers who have frequently access to SE16N, can see these transactions, like for instance, the social security number. If you look at the info type 2 and you browse in, you'll basically see here that the social security number is visible. But of course also the in the database in the PA0002 table and other informations like birth date and so on and so forth, the name, are considered sensitive. So Dolphin created a tool to address this situation. We can actually configure the tool dynamically to specify what fields we are in the table P0002 we want to encrypt. So we can specify that in the customizing table, which table we want to encrypt. Like for instance, in this case, we want to encrypt the social security number, which is in field PERID. So the way to do this is to simply invoke the Dolphin transaction and the Dolphin transaction for encryption. The only thing which we have to reference is the field set of all of the fields in the tables. And of course that could be versioned. That's why there's also a version indicator. And then we specify the number of personal numbers. Like for instance, like let's run the encryption over 3 personal numbers, including the one of Michael Burton. When we run this encrypt, and it's extremely fast, we can actually look at the table again. And if I basically go back into the PA002 table for that specific person, let me say these three people, you see now that in the database it has been blanked out. There's nothing in there. But if I basically go back into the PA20 transaction, I still see actually the name and the personal information. And the reason is we have enhanced this PA20 transaction to dynamically call the decryption module in the Dolphin module for the unencrypting. If I actually log in as a different user, like let's log into that system as a different user, James, who does not have the authorization, and I go into PA20 and I plug in the same username, but this time down here you can see we're running it as James, and we are pressing the enter button. You will see the name is still blanked out. And if I look into the personal data, where we saw the social security number, you can see that this user is not authorized to decrypt the data. Security number is blanked out.